welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're gonna make
Huevos Rancheros. We're gonna actually show you a really good and easy salsa, or like a ranchera salsa to make with your eggs. It's gonna be so delicious. We are gonna make potatoes and bacon. Those we are gonna throw them in the oven because of the fact that it is, you know, it's a meal that you're gonna be, you know, in the kitchen all the time or whatever. So you try to figure things out to make it a little easier. So for us, we figured we throw the potatoes in the oven, the bacon in the oven. That cooks on its own. We check it every once in a while, turn the bacon, potatoes, do all that stuff. It's gonna be awesome. We aren't gonna make homemade tortillas. We actually bought tortillas from the bakery, and we're also gonna make beans. The thing is that we didn't have time to make any beans, or we haven't made any beans recently. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a can of refried beans. But don't watch. A lot of people are hesitant about canned beans, but we're gonna show you a way that's gonna make them taste like if you make them from home, and they're gonna be delicious. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead. I already diced our potatoes. So the potatoes, you just want to cut them and just make them kind of like this. You want them small. You don't want them too big, because remember, they're going in the oven. So we're gonna go ahead and get our pan, and we're gonna spray it. We're gonna spray both of them, because one pan's gonna be for your potatoes and one's gonna be for your bacon. So we're gonna get our potatoes and we're gonna throw them in there. And you wanna spread them out. We do tend to use the Montreal steak seasoning. You can find this at your local grocery store. They don't have them this big, of course. You're gonna find the small one. But this one gives your potatoes like this taste, like, oh my God, it's so delicious. We're also gonna put some oil in there. And then we're gonna mix it. We found it because of the fact that we have so many people in our family, and so when we're making big meals like this, putting your potatoes in the oven, it works great. Because you just put them in there, you keep an eye on them. Once in a while you go in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt and I'm gonna move it again. And we're gonna throw them in the oven. You're gonna have your oven preheated at 350 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and put our potatoes on the bottom. And then we're gonna cut our bacon and put our bacon in there. We always slice them in the middle. It just gets a little bit more. And you know what? This knife, am I doing it backwards?
you need one with the teeth.
With the teeth?
The little, yeah.
We need one with the teeth. A knife with the teeth. We're gonna put them in the pan. Some of our kids like bacon, one of them don't. So she never gets bacon, which is weird because she'll eat it in
Sandwich.
yeah.
BLT.
We're gonna go ahead and scoop them down because we want to be able to do maybe 2 lines of it. It's gonna be okay because you're gonna be able to. Are you all right there?
Yeah.
Because you're making all kinds of noises.
Bird.
I know a lot of you are probably cringing because some people like their bacon straight. It's gonna be straight, it's just gonna be a little with the design. But I'm trying to fit as much as I possibly can in there because I don't want to have to use another pan. Then we're gonna get our bacon and we're gonna throw it on our top rack. And we're gonna leave it in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and start on our salsa. For the salsa or the ranchera sauce, you're gonna need a jalapeno, an onion, a tomato, and tomato sauce. Right there. You can make it in any saucepan you want. This is our favorite when we make this type of salsa. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna preheat the pan. We're gonna go ahead and spray it. And then we're gonna add a little bit of oil because you're gonna fry your vegetables. Wash your tomato and your jalapeno. Give me an onion.
A what?
An onion. Me didn't like that cebolla. Gonna lower that down. So when you're making ranchera sauce, a lot of people dice it. I don't want to dice it. I like to put it in kind of like, what is it called? Slices, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it in half and then we're gonna slice it. This is also good with like when you go to a restaurant and then you have to pay or they give you the salsa, the chips and the, what is it? Chips and salsa. I like when they give you the chips and the ranchera sauce. This ranchera sauce is so good. You're also gonna get your jalapeno. Mine's a little weird looking, but it'll work. So we're gonna cut the end and we're gonna cut them in circles. I cut them big like this because when I put them, when the salsa's made and we put them on top of the kids' food, they're big enough where they can take them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in there. I'm gonna throw this onion in there as well. And we're gonna cube our tomato. Man, none of these knives have any
Sharp.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start moving it around. You can put as much onion as you want in there. I like the ranchera sauce to have the onion. It gives it like a really, really good flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tomato in there. Some people, to thicken their salsa, they put a little bit of flour. I don't do that. What I do is I just cook it a little bit longer, and as it cooks, it actually thickens itself. It is a good meal when your significant other is being good. Or you have some news that you want to give them, you make them this breakfast to get them all happy. So we're gonna go ahead and cook the salsa for a little bit, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you what it's gonna look like before you put your tomato sauce in there. So now that it looks fried up a little bit like that, we're gonna go ahead and add our tomato sauce. We're gonna add in our garlic powder. And then we're gonna put water in it. Another half a can. And then I'm gonna move it to the back, and I'm gonna go ahead and let it cook. And you can leave it on low or whatever you want. Huh?
Push it more because it's like on the edge. There.
Okay. And you want to make the beans? Or start making the beans? Oh, you know what? Let's check on our potatoes real fast. So right now we're going to check on our potatoes. We want to just kind of move them around so they won't get stuck. And our bacon looks okay.
Now we're gonna make the beans. Just gonna spray the pan first. Put them in there. And just slide them.
We usually use homemade beans, but we don't have any today, so canned beans is gonna do. But they're just gonna taste just as good. Just smash them at the bottom of the plate.
No, I don't. Put a little oil in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little unhealthy, but it's gonna taste good. They basically
That's what refry. It'll refry it.
Yeah. And you throw them in the oven. And now you're gonna throw them in the oven, and you're gonna allow them to cook in there. And we're gonna go ahead and let the bacon, the potatoes, and the beans cook a little bit longer, and then we'll be right back. See, your salsa is already starting to thicken out. Still a little watery, but you're still gonna let it cook. But you can actually feel it when you put your spoon in there. You can feel the difference from when you started the first time to when you're stirring it in the middle of the process of it cooking. We're gonna go ahead and check on our bacon because we do want to flip it halfway through. See, it's already almost done. You don't want to leave it in there too long because then it burns. Depending on your stove, some of your bacon's gonna cook like mine, where some of it looks like it's almost done, which is probably over here. This ain't gonna cook that much longer, only because the kids really don't like it that they don't like it looking like a little bit raw or whatever. So you're gonna go ahead and move your pan again like this. The reason why we're not using a spoon is because we do not want our potatoes to smash. So when you use your spoon, it's gonna kind of smash them up. So we just kind of move them around in the pan. Throw them back in there. We check on our beans. Just move them around. Everybody's stove is different, so it's kind of hard to tell you like, oh, well, I've been cooking them this long or that long. It's more of just you watching it and kind of keeping an eye on it. The good thing is that the majority of this breakfast is made in the oven. The potatoes, the bacon, the beans. The only thing that's going to be made on your stovetop is your ranchera sauce and your eggs. But even with the eggs, we're going to use our little skillet that we plug in because we do have to make quite a few eggs, well, quite a bit of eggs. So we're going to use that one because I can fit about maybe, what, 5-6 eggs in there. And so since this meal is a little process because we are making it in the oven, which is a good thing because we could just throw it in there, kind of finish doing whatever we have to do, come check on it. So the salsa is already done. It's still a little bit watery, but it's alright. You don't want it to be too watery because it's a salsa. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that off and let that sit. I already started taking the bacon out, some of the bacon, because since my oven is a gas stove, some of the stuff kind of cooks, how do you say, like one side of it cooks a little faster than the other side, which is kind of odd, but see, now these are done. We're gonna go ahead and take these out. We're gonna check on our beans. I did add a little bit of the grease from the bacon into this, into the beans. You don't have to do that, but you kind of want to make these beans taste as homemade as you possibly can. And we're gonna check our potatoes and move them around again. The potatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and use a spoon now. Preferences for your potatoes, but I want them a little bit more cooked than that. So we're gonna let them cook a little bit more. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my eggs and I'm gonna put them in the pan. only thing I don't like about making eggs is that they, like, the grease splatters everywhere and then it gets all over you. I like to put little piercings through them like this so that way they cook through. Nice. That is such beautiful words of encouragement. Probably the tea. I'm gonna go ahead and break right in the middle because I'm not confident enough that I can flip them both together. Give me a plate. Right there. Some of my kids are a fan of egg with bola or the egg with the, what is it, sunny side up, right?
Yeah.
And some of them aren't, so some of them will get scrambled eggs. I'm not an egg flipper. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this one more time just so I can cook a little bit on the other side. And then I pierce it again just to make sure it doesn't have, just make sure it doesn't have that little gooey stuff. So this egg is done. I'm gonna put it right here because I need to take everything out of the oven. Because I thought Mr. Roy had done that, but he didn't.
I don't want it to get cold.
Huh?
I didn't want it to get cold. That's why I was doing it. But it's warm.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get our potatoes. I'm gonna pour some of our beans. And Roy over here is gonna preheat the tortillas. We're gonna put some cheese on top of our eggs and our beans. Then we're gonna get our salsa, ranchera. And watch this, guys.
Drizzle it all over.
And then we're gonna put some bacon on there. And there you go. Huevos rancheros feast.
Tortilla.
With the tortilla. Here, put it over here. Usually we try our our meals, but since it is egg, you know, nobody likes to eat somebody else's egg. So we're gonna go ahead and finish the video here.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
This is what your huevo rancheros plate is supposed to look like. The cooking time took maybe about 45 to 50 minutes because we did put a lot of the stuff in the oven. But to me, the less I can use the stove, and if I can put a lot of things in the oven and it'll all cook at one time, which is better. I'm not, you know, in the kitchen kind of going all over the place. So we really hope you like this meal. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so you can get notified whenever we do go or post another video. And we want to thank all our subscribers, the new ones, all of them in general. We're very grateful for you guys. Stay safe and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.